Hello, it says I'm live. Woohoo! It is 10:32. We're 2 minutes late. Sorry about that. We try to be on time. I mean, recently we've been pretty good. I see we have some chat going here. Let's have a look at this. We're waiting for the bride. Can't I be the groom, please? All right. Tuning in from Norway. I am doing marvellously well. Hello you. How are you, Crispy? Hello, Jacques. Hello, Paul. Hello, Clint. Hello, Robert. Hello, Shawnee. Hello, Todd. Hello, Adam. Hello, Brian. Hello, Not Hardly. Hello, Paul. Hello, don't say worthless. Keith, Adrian, Paul, Peter, Jürgen, Mr. Steve Took. Hello, Lemmica. How are you? G. Baxter, Pablo. Wow, Lux, so many incredible people here. Zia, Astaroth, Sir Egbert Fartalot, Matty Six Strings, Mark, Martin, P. Hunter, Chip, Josue, hello Raymond, hello Monty, Mike, Dana, David, T-Dog, David, Nobel, Aaron, wow, Dave Merkel, hello, Recyclops, Adrian, you know what, I can't keep up. This is absolutely wonderful. Hello, Jake in Nashville. Where is everybody? Anyway, Durham, Wolverhampton. Hey, Wolves are doing pretty well. Congratulations on the Premier League. And didn't you just hold Manchester United? God bless you. Use the delay technique on the drum track yesterday made a huge difference. Great. Hello from Key West. Hello in Nashville. Hello, Richard. So EQ, notching, and powering to give instrument their place in the mix. Tons of different things you can do, yes. Hope you're doing marvellously well. I am. Sunny California. Love this topic. Yeah, we're going back to the song Conditions. And why am I doing that? Well, two things. You notice we did side by side. We mixed it, live streaming, and then put it out as a single. Which I don't know if it can be done quickly, but Matt, if you're tuned in, or Andrew, or both of you, can one of you figure it out? Can you put a link to that on Spotify? So that song on Spotify is the song that David wrote to his then soon-to-be wife, now wife. They've been married a couple of weeks. And, oh yeah, this is my son's cup. And it's coming up to, it is coming up to Halloween, of course, so... Anyway, so David's song, that's the Workday release, his song Side by Side was mixed like this, live streaming over 2 events. So 2 1.5 live streams with me waffling on, probably mixed in 2 hours on headphones. So this is why we do this, because we go, hey, look, you can do this. And it's been released as a single. Warren Sokol mastered it. Actually, we filmed the mastering of it, so that will be available as well. So you can see how he mastered it in the box using plugins, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so all of this great stuff. We're trying to tie all of this together because it's all about practicing what you preach. You know, it's all very well for a guy like me with like platinum and gold records on, waffling on about how you can mix in a box. Well, I can't see of any more practicality than actually doing it in real time, in front of you, with us discussing and all this kind of stuff. And so 2 1.5 hour sessions, of which I'm waffling half the time, so it's probably around about 2 hours worth of work. However, the waffling is good, because when I'm waffling, I'm taking an ear break. Like at the moment, I'm not working. I'm not listening to loud drums and guitars and all that kind of stuff. So why am I going on about this? I'm going on about this because we're going back to the song Conditions of his, which we mixed using only stock plugins. That is going to be his next single, and he wants to put it out in a couple of weeks. Yes, congratulations on the 1-1 draw with Man United. That was really, really nice, especially if you're not a Man United fan. But if you are a Manchester United fan, good luck. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, let's get going. Let's stop waffling. Or let me stop waffling. All right, I am going to go to the other screen. So I'm about to appear, up there. So keep looking. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, I'm up here. All right, So this is the song Conditions. Do you remember it? And remember, you can download Side by Side, his first single. You can download the multi-tracks. You can stream it. You can go back and watch all the videos we did on it, and you can see how I mixed it in the box. This is entirely in the box. This is brand new Pro Tools 2018 native. Everything on here is native. So there's a couple of things I wanted to do. If you got the email and you are an email subscriber, and if you're not, please subscribe. But if you did get the email, you'll know that we are doing a giveaway with Lancaster IRs. So Lancaster IRs is like impulse responses. Impulse responses, and I have a pack, which is why I'm talking about it. What they do, what we do, what Lancaster does is go over there and basically do impulse responses of hundreds of different cabs and different producers and different everything. It's really, really wonderful. I have my own one. So if you know, on this, I did a lot of DI guitars. Why don't we listen to the song for a second, then it'll make some sense. So this is where we left the mix off. I haven't even listened to it. I just was filming Feedback Friday for the Academy. Hello, Academy members. So I actually haven't listened to this, so I'm a little scared myself. This is where we left the song off.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but I can see it. Every weathered bruise and all of your conditions. And I wonder if you know it too, that we are different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the
Cool. So I just want to let it play for a little bit. I haven't worked on this song since we did a live stream. All I do is mix these in live stream. So when I mix them in live stream, it's in real time. You can hear what I'm doing. Everything on this, we did some fun stuff for those of you that don't remember. So here's the drums. Let's go to the chorus. So that's the drums. We came up, that drum mix is really, really simplistic. We barely did anything to it. We did some very simple EQ. It's very, very straightforward, but we printed the drums and we created a stereo print of the drums, and we did this. We're not going to use the Shep's channel, anything like this. This is all stock. This is all stock plugins. There is absolutely no other manufacturers other than Avid. And it's not just because we're Avid fans or anything like that. It's because the whole idea is to just prove that you can mix songs using stock plugins. So you see what's going on there. I'll crank it for a second so we can hear it. This mix is available to everybody in the Academy. We did this as you've got Side by Side is available to everybody on the planet. Matt can put that up. That was the first single. This second one we put up, Hey Heavy Metal Mixer, and this second one we put up on the inside of the Academy. And if you stick around to the end of the stream, we will give away a membership to the Academy as well as the IRs. And as a couple of people have already said, thank you ever so much. Please like and share. If you can like and share. Mixing a rap record at the moment. Would love to see you mix rap hip-hop songs sometimes. Yep. Todd, we actually, we've got quite a few of those as courses, and I could pull some of those up. We have 253 people watching. Thank you ever so much. Oh, look, and there's an ad running. God bless it. Please like and share. Please like and share. Please like and share. So that was the effect. So what do we do? It's basically EQ top and bottom removed. Why did I do that? I didn't want the low end to interfere with the kick. And then a lo-fi, a little bit of distortion on it. This is, again, free with I'm just doing the moderating. Hey guys, will you get on the moderating? So there is a little distortion here. I'll take it off so you can hear it. So why did I do that? Well, see, what it does is the saturation, the overdrive, distortion, whatever you want to call it. Saturation is like when we're working in mixes, we always call it saturation. Why do we call it saturation? Because if you use the word distortion, everybody gets afraid. When it comes to guitars, you plug it in, you go like, I dig this distortion pedal. Because that's cool. But if I'm working as a mixer and I say, oh, I added some distortion, everybody will be like, what? Oh my God, no, what is it? What's clipping? Everybody gets afraid. But if you say, I added some saturation, everybody's like, oh wow, some saturation. But the reality is like, you know, the subtlety between the so-called distortion over here and the so-called saturation, it's just a nice way of saying the same thing. It does different things, but it's also kind of the same thing. Look, the reality is like what we're doing is we are saturating. We're distorting the signal. It makes it sound fat, but most importantly, it's the transients that fold in first. So the drums, the drum bounce that I've done here, if you notice, it stopped not as pokey. Have a listen. Oh, at the moment, my voice is going to be louder because all we're doing is listening to, like, just one track out of the whole thing. Cool. So, in the mix, it's this quiet. There's the modulation delay on it. Now, why did I do that? I did that because we recorded the drums with no cymbals. We did the dumbest kind of idea on this. It's super, all stock plugins. Remember, I'll keep saying it so everybody remembers. So that, you see that delayed effect? It just creates a little extra movement. It's audible once you solo it like that, but as soon as you start adding instruments, So what happens a lot, this is my bass playing. Everything on this record was played by both me and David. So there's just the two of us. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, we did some EQ and some compression stuff on the vocal. Let's have a listen to the vocal.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never.
Great. So, it's as simple as that. I'm opening up fresh and I'm thinking to myself, hey, the vocal's low. I'm just sitting the vocal against the bass and drums. I'm adding the acoustic. This song is driven from an acoustic. He is an acoustic guitar player. So let's have a listen.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Yes, all the previous live sessions are available to watch.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
Cool. Let's add in this guitar here.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. Still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but I.
Nice. Okay, so it's great coming back to the song. There's obvious things we need to do. I'm doing a lot of listening. This is the reality. Is like listening is the biggest part of what we do. I know that sounds really obvious, but I have watched. Good morning to you. I have watched so many people start mixing without even listening to the song. We haven't listened to this song in about 3 weeks now. And so I'm going back, I'm doing some quick volume rebalances to see where we're at. Obviously, I feel like this guitar hook needs to come up a little bit more because it's the hook. So let's bring it up.
To claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but.
Hey, Cliff. Okay, so the vocals need some effects. They have no effects on them whatsoever. So, but let's have a listen. Before I get to that, I want to listen to these guitars because we did some shaping. We used 11. And it's pretty cool. And I ended up doing some sort of, I did a de-essing to get rid of some of that overly digital brightness that 11 has. You see, it's got almost 6 dB worth of ducking in that kind of painful 3.2 area. But I want to try something. Lancaster Audio Pulse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up our IRs. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a real cab on this. So let us have a look. Oh, he said. Oh, where is that? Look at this. I'm not even prepared. See what happens? Not even prepared to find the right ones. God bless America. So, Lancaster. Name matches Lancaster. Okay. Well, God bless Eric. God bless him that it isn't up there. Okay. Wowie oh wow, 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 wowie oh wow. All right, so I'm not going to spend ages trying to find that. So let's move on from that. Next section.
I don't know you like you do, but I can see it. Every weathered bruise and all of your conditions. And I wonder if you know it too, that we are different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know.
Okay, so are you still there?
Mine alone to claim. I don't know you. I don't know you like you do, but I can see it. Every weathered bruise and all of your conditions. And I wonder if you know it too, that we are different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. It feels like no matter how far I run away, no matter how brand new I'm feeling today.
Fantastic. So let's get into the vocals. Let's not worry about the other stuff at the moment. The vocals are like the biggest thing for me here that we've got to get going. Now, there's already a whole bunch of bussing set up for things that aren't even happening. So let's just get, you know what, we could use some of that bussing. Why the heck not? So I'm going to create a stereo auxiliary. I don't know if I want to do artificial harmonies on this. We're trying to keep this super, super simple. Hello, David. Hello, Paul. So keep this super, super simple. Because that was the whole idea of having the song with like no cymbals, was to have this like super intimate and ready to go. So, you know what I mean? Not sound too complex. All of the actual mixing was kind of done in a production to a certain extent, and I think that that's the beauty of being your own producer and your own engineer. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here and just choose, you know, a very simple.
You don't know me.
One of my favorite reverbs, honestly, and I'm not just saying it because it's stock, is the plate inside of Deverb. So many of my friends use this plate. A lot of the people you love. Oh, it reminds you of Green from Scritti Politti. That's pretty nice.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame.
Exactly. Keeping it simple, Martin, is what it's all about. So that's the default. That's the default large. Now, I think it's going to be too much in a verse. Let's have a listen.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
Thanks, Eddie. I'm not sliding around, but here we go.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do.
I love plate reverbs. I really do. Talking to Kiss, last night I went to Ace Frehley's record release party because I mixed his album, as you know, and did some production on it. One of the tracks I produced with him and played a lot of guitar on. So check out that album. That comes out in a couple of weeks. But I was hanging out with Eric Singer. We had dinner. So Eric, and me and my wife, Kasia, had dinner with Eric, and it was very nice. So current member of Kiss with former member of Kiss. It was a very fun time.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do.
That I like. So that's 913. So that's just under a second.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
Yeah, Michelle, I mean, you're right. EMT 140 is absolutely incredible. It's totally incredible. Hello, Juan. And to be honest, this plate is really good. This is a tool that if you are a Pro Tools user, that is just, you can search out thousands of different emulations, but they got this right. They really got this right on the plate. There are so many mixers I know that yeah, I know. Keep it simple, stupid. I knew what you meant. Don't worry.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
So it's great. It's a little loud. Bring it down.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do.
How late was the after party? It's the modern world, so it wasn't that late. Everybody's a little older and wiser, so it wasn't one of those 3 o'clock in the mornings, 1975 parties.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. You don't know me. You don't know me like
I'm digging it. So why did I go through? I went right through, finished after party 10:30. No, but a lot of the people I was with at the party, it finished at 9. It was 7 till 9 at the Rainbow Room, Rainbow Bar and Grill in LA.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
Is it still going on? No. It would have been in 1975.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back.
I think with the de-essing that's coming up there's moments, but what I tend to do is I de-ess. You can see I de-ess twice on the vocal with boosting and everything, but I won't go too crazy until the very end, because at the end, I'll take out and do automation. I'd rather do automation on excessive S's rather than trying to solve it with a de-esser entirely. Because what you're doing is, if you're continually trying to use a de-esser to do it, is you're going to end up taking out high end on other things that you don't want to do. So that's the beauty of automation. I could just go in there now like this, and we could go, oh, I don't like this breath, or I don't want like whatever, and I can just gain it down. I can use clip gain here if I want. I could do volume automation. I could do all kinds of stuff. There's so many different ways of doing this now. We're in a really, really good position. All right, so I like this reverb. As a lot of you are talking about, it's quite bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into pre-fade. See what I did here? Pre-fade on my auxiliary. I'm now going to mute the vocal and have a listen.
You don't know me. You don't know me like
There's a little bit, you don't know me. That's coming from the vocal, so automation would help. We can try a de-esser. I'm all about it. Let's go to Avid, because we're using stock only. Let's just go to the most generic de-esser and see what's happening.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these. You don't know me. You don't know me.
There you go. So I went to 3.8 here. I did quite a 6 dB, 6.8 dB range, and listen how it's smoothed out.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
Beautiful. Listen to that.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
It's great. Now, there's a little bit of high-end boost on this that we went a little crazy with. I'm going to bring it back a little bit here. Just tame it out a little bit. Just a little taming. I think a little bit more there.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different.
I'm only worried about losing highs if I get super, super aggressive. Now, at the moment, you can tell something. If you look at the vocal here, there is no compression on it. It's printed through the 1173, so it has that compression I wanted with the, you know, with the 1176 on it. So, which is built in. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do a little bit because we have to go stock. And let's go. Oh, this comes as stock. Can't be at 1176.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
I'm doing a gentle amount of compression.
You don't.
If anybody knows 1176s, they are a fixed threshold compressor. A fixed threshold compressor. And so what happens is, here's the threshold. As you turn up the gain, you get more compression. There's no way to adjust the gain and the threshold. So you can't turn it up and then bring up the threshold so that it goes louder into the compressor. It's fixed.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different.
I like what that's doing. I like what it's doing. There's a part of me that wants to maybe get a little bit more aggressive on it. You know, maybe. But I'm going to leave it as it is because I did print with compression on it. So this, if we went to 20-1.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
Yeah, I like it. So at 20-1, I'm only getting like a dB or so. Let's maybe bring it up just a little bit. So we're hitting, you see what I'm doing? I'm turning it up here. So we're hitting our fixed threshold slightly.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. Slightly twisted.
I don't like what's going on with the with the reverb. I feel like I'm getting too many dynamics on it. I just want a feel of it. So I'm going to do two things. And this is probably, you're probably going to think strange. The first thing I'm going to do is actually compress going into it. So it's a little bit more even. So let's just pick up the same thing, the 1176.
You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions.
So now it's even going in.
You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of.
So that's post the de-esser, and I'm squashing the schnizzle out of it. I mean, you can see sometimes there's 4 or 5 dB.
You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
But I think it's going to be more even. Nothing's going to jump out. Let's have a listen.
You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And
Okay, so I like it. It's definitely much more pleasing now. It's much more pleasing. This is interesting not having stock, only using stock plugins, because there's a couple of things in the back of my mind. I'm going, oh, I'd like to do this or I'd like to do that. And I like the restrictions because it's making me think. You'll probably notice I'm not moving quite so fast. You know me, when I'm mixing like this stuff, I usually would have done like 18 things by now. Because I'm restricting myself to only using stock plugins, I'm having to think a little harder. And I actually like that. I like that. No, I don't want a faster attack because I'm not trying to bring in those. What I'm trying to do with those slower attacks is I'm trying to just add very, very flat signals. Because what I'm trying to do with that reverb is add just a amount of reverb energy the whole time against it.
you don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different.
Cool. Now, this is an indie track. This is not like super pop. It's a pop indie track. I think to think of like Def Cab for Cutie or something like that. So what I want to do is I want to add a little slap delay. So I'm actually going to go mono auxiliary. I do not want a stereo one. We've got bus 13 here that we already had set up, so let's use it. So let's go to bus 13 here. We're going to go slap delay. Oh, there's already a playlist? Whoa, where? Where was I using us? This was before when I was mixing without using stock. Here it is. It's got an H delay on it. Ooh, and cheating. But it does. Okay, let's get rid of that. And it was bus 13, and it was mono. Isn't that funny? So let's make that 1 and 2. Look at that. Make active. So that's interesting, because this started off as a mix that I was doing hybrid on a console. So now we've gone back here. So here's your slap delay. What did I do? Well, and I'm still going to do it. I had a little distortion.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
So that has already got SansAmp on it here. You see SansAmp? Woohoo! SansAmp stock comes free with it. It's one of my favorite plugins because it's free and it sounds awesome, dude. Okay, let's do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway of a year's membership. A year's membership to the Academy. Do you use saturation? I'm only using stock here, so we've used lo-fi, and now we're using saturation / distortion. Don't use the distortion word. Okay, so do you use the stock ones in your DAW, or do you use third-party plugins? We're keeping completely stock on this mix, but yeah, free is the best price. What saturation do you use? This is for a free membership, a year's membership to the Academy, where you can download 30 plus multi-tracks and watch hundreds of hours of videos. Okay, so I've got to make sure I choose a delay here that is free, not one that we bought. Because obviously we bought some of the more fancy ones. So let's go and find the most generic delay. I believe this is it. Yep, this is comes free with Pro Tools delay. Okay, so let's have a listen. Now, I'm going to make sure that 13 is also in pre, so I can... Here we go.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing. Every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame.
Soft tube, natural saturation, distortion, Futzbox. Yeah, Futzbox is amazing. If we were doing Mac DSP stuff, I would love to use Futzbox.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no
So just so you know, it's set to 100% wet. That's really, really important. Really important to go to 100% wet.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
So that's a distorted slap delay. It's a little bright for me. Let's take some of the highs off. I want this to be like a dirty tape delay.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different. A slightly twisted point of view.
Great. Here we go.
A slightly twisted point of view, and
It's still a little bright. Let's do a couple of things. Let's get a de-esser. So I'm pulling the de-esser down from the reverb up, which of course I'm going to a mono track. So let's just bring in a de-esser. We're going to listen to everything together. We'll go to the Avid stock de-esser. This is just a really important way to control EQ. So
a slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different.
Okay, so now I've got that slap delay. I'm de-essing it going in, so I'm taking off some of the harsh brightness even before it's in there. Let's have a listen.
A slightly twisted point of view.
That basically now sounds like my Echoplex sitting over there. My Echoplex that I have, when I hit it hard, that's the effect I get.
A slightly twisted point of view.
So basically, in about 2 seconds, we just created a tape delay. What did we do? We put a de-esser on the front, getting rid of the high end. We put some saturation after it. Saturation, distortion, SansAmp comes free. And then we put a delay. And I went, typically about 50 or 60 milliseconds is the classic tape delay that you're used to hearing.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different.
And it's just enough to just thicken up the vocal, because what it's not only is it giving me a little tiny delay, it's adding a little bit of width to the vocal. So let's hear it in the track.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now.
So who won? Who won? Who did you pick, Matt? Who did you pick? All right, this is for a year membership.
A slightly twisted.
And if you're already a member, which so many of you are Academy members already, you'll get a year extension. Or you can just pick a course, a free course that we do. There's all the Pro Mix Academies. You can have one of those if you're actually already a member.
A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's the reality. The reason why we do this stuff is to illustrate, yes, there are amazing stock plugins. But more importantly, like if you want to buy like a really fancy like tape emulation and stuff like that, we just did our own. That sounds as close as I want to say to my Echoplex, which is sitting over there. I cannot turn this camera around over there, but there is an Echoplex sitting over there, an actual real Echoplex. And when we do tape delay, that's basically what I end up with. It's like a trashed out, saturated tape that I put in against it, and I love it. And we just created that in 1 minute. Okay, let's try some longer delays. All right, we've got 11 and 12 available here. So let's try building 2 delays. So I'm going to do 2 stereo auxiliaries. Okie dokie. I've just put them into solo safe. I'm going to make them input 11 and 12. Okay. Let's make this one, we'll do delay 1. We'll call the other one, you guessed it, delay 2. Now, these are tricks that you may have seen me do in the past, but I'm going to do them again because, hey, sometimes I need to hear the same thing 500 times before I get it right. Okay, so I'm going to go back into solo here. I'm going to take these pre-fades off as well, by the way. And this is a feature that I love. You see what they've done now in Pro Tools? You see it's gone blue? Because sometimes you put something into pre-fade and then you solo it and you can't figure out why the vocal's going. And you can, when you know the vocal reverb's going, and then you can have a quick look. And that little blue indicator that they've added is letting you know that you're in pre-fade. Oh yeah, it's an IR. You can have you're winning my IR from Lancaster Audio, but you're also getting a year Academy, Matt, because we didn't pull up the demo of the IRs. So it's an IR and a year's Academy. Okay, so Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go. Oh, do you remember the Muga Fuga? I don't want to open that up. I'm not going to open that up. I think they discontinued that. Somebody said, is that true? Okay, so let's go and get the mod delay again. This time it's in stereo. I'm just going to listen to it on its own.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the...
So it's set to tempo already. Let's do one side. Should we do one side? We'll do them slightly odd. How about this?
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well.
Very disconcerting, isn't it, hearing it like that? It's like, blah, 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 blah. It's like only one on one side, one on the other. We can bring them in a little bit. I'm going to have a mess around here. Do the mess around.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
Absolutely insane. All right, two things. This is the trick I'm going to do at the moment. So it's pretty crazy. We can end up turning up the feedback, and it'll get even more insane. What? He's gonna go insane. Have a listen.
And I can't find one more deserving of the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
Absolutely insane. No, say it ain't so. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, please like and share if you can. That would be absolutely amazing.
And I can't find one more deserving of the blame. I know myself well.
Great. So that's totally insane and completely unusable in its present state. Two things we're going to do. Firstly, we're going to go and I'm going to choose, you guessed it, a compressor. So we'll go back to the 1176 because it's standard, comes with it. I'm literally going to take any one of those outputs. I'll take 13 because it's mono. So now it's sending from the vocal itself. Okay. And it's sending side chaining afterwards. So have a listen.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now,
That's quite a lot of ducking. I don't need quite that much. But listen.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know
Yes, Adam, it does sound like it's like an old 50s movie that's like, oh. Okay, so, yes, it's the multiple personalities preset. You're correct, sir. Okay, so I really like that, but it's still too loud. But the point is like, it's interesting, but see, we're ducking it, we're side chaining it, whatever you want to call it. When I was a kid, it was called ducking.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can.
I'm already everybody's gonna notice the snare is getting lost in all of this insanity. But that's mixing. Let's have a listen.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can.
Bringing it down dramatically.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
Remember, we used to go on holiday when we were kids. You go on holiday to, Spain or whatever, and the Spanish radio was always like, and then you'd hear the and the music, and then and it would suck down, and it would come back up. It was the most dramatic ducking you'd ever heard in your life on the radio stations. Snare's super, super tame. We have so much fun stuff we're going to do. All right. And this is a good one. I like this song because this is going to be his next single. We're going to have some fun with this.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim.
It was recorded on the Lewitt. Yep, it was recorded on the Lewitt. I mean, it's absolutely, yeah. Okay, so where are we at? We've got, that wasn't really a Spanish impression. I was just like, to be honest, it happened when I was, everywhere you go around the world, it was like this. But I remember just sitting on the beach listening to Spanish radio, and that's what we heard.
And I can't find.
But not in Spanish, because I can't speak a word of Spanish. Well, it's not true. I can speak some Spanish, but about 5 words. Radio 2 still does it like that? Oh.
One more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
Cool. So we're in a good place. There's a couple of things we need to do now. Because this is mixing. This is what it is. We're going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. I love what's going on with the vocals. It's really, really cool. It's really fun. Guitars and everything's coming in. The effects are getting a little loud. We're getting a bit carried away. This is the reality. Like, the last thing you're mixing becomes the loudest thing in the mix. So I'm going to bring down the effects in general all. I'm actually going to bring down the vocal a tiny bit. And now I'm going to listen again.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change. That these conditions are mine alone to claim.
Oh, I love watching Spanish football. The passion is amazing on the commentators. All right, so where are we at? It's sounding good. I like it. But the drums, you know, which we kept really soft and really natural, are starting, you know, with the addition, obviously, of the fun print, starting to sound a little like, you're getting a little lost in this. And this is mixing. This is what happened. Remember I was talking about that pre-fade issue? We can now quickly say, oh, where they're coming from. So now we can turn off our pre-fade on our sends. And it's so much easier now that Pro Tools has done this to see where they're at. Didn't have that before. Interesting. All right, so a couple of things. I think the kick and the snare have not been bussed whatsoever. We haven't done anything like that at all. We did set up a reverb on the kick, which to be honest was on the live kick and I didn't want to use. So, but let's do a couple of things. So we can let's take our kicks, plural, dum-de-dum-dum-dum, and give them a listen. Yes, I wish I knew more languages as well. I'm in a place where I know a bit of quite a few languages, but not enough of anything else, and that's very sad. And I should know more. Okay, so I'm just going to take the next. I'm going for a stereo bus on the kicks because we are using some samples. Okay, so let's go and create a stereo input. So we're going to call this kick sub. Okay, and obviously those are coming out 29 and 30. If you haven't liked already, please like and share if you can. Okay, I'm going to take bus 1 and 2 and take it to just a sample. This is actually going to be bussed into it, so the reverb I'm about to set up is going into that same bus. Oh my God, he's over here! All right, it's absolutely massive. That's a deverb. That's a stock plugin. Now, those of you that know the old-fashioned, good old Abbey Road trick will know this. That you just go along, you grab an EQ, excuse me, and you high and low pass it. Simple as that, because you don't want that huge low-end build-up. You just don't want it. It is horrific. Yes, he's going to high pass. I know. People tell you not to do it, but we're going to do it. No, whatever, we're past that. We're past the stupidity. Everybody knows that that's disinformation. Okay, so going to take out low mids and low ends. Have a listen. But I also don't want too much at the high end, so... Just a little bit of low end. Okay, kick. Something's ugly in there, isn't it? Do you hear it? Did you hear it when the drums come in? Something's ugly happens to the drums. Where do you think that's coming from? I know where it's coming from. Do you know where? Let's have a listen. It's those overheads. The overheads are interesting because the overheads are there's no cymbals. So the overheads are kind of our room mics. Interesting. What does that make me think? Well, let's do this. Let's go in, first of all, and grab an EQ. Before we do anything, let's go in and grab an EQ on this overhead. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Stock, remember? Okay. Got rid of some of the low end, just coming out there. Let's go to about 300, 350. Already more natural. So yeah, Monty got it. So we'll get rid of those low mids. All right, so we just got rid of the low end, low mids. Now it's going to make this kick feel a little bit more natural. Yeah, I definitely use the one band. If I just wanted to high pass, I'd just open up a one band EQ. Why use something that has more DSP power, you know? Cool. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get an Avid reverb. So let's just go here. Reverb 1. No, is that free? Which is the free one? Oh, the free one is the Deverb. Okay. You know, my favorite kind of drum reverb to start with is always about 3/4 of a second just to start with. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to type it in. I'm just going to do it manually. Right, that's good enough. Great. Already done a wonderful job. Please like and share. We're going to do another giveaway. We're going to do free IRs. You're going to get my IR pack. And also we're going to give away a free year's membership. It's cool. So I'm liking what's happening there. So now, because we didn't use any cymbals, our overheads are now our nice little room mic. Okay, the snare's too tame. It's far too tame. It's just not happening for me. So let's have a listen to all of our snare elements. I love Radiohead. Who hasn't? Why do I keep it 100% wet on the Deverb? Because it's on an auxiliary. I don't want to mix in a dry signal. So basically I use the reverb on an auxiliary just to add it on there. I don't know, Jacques, I think there's quite a lot of crack, but there's not a lot of body. I mean, the snare's a little weak sounding. It was nice when the song was super organic sounding, but now it's getting a little bit more quote unquote mixed. I have to come back and readdress some stuff. And again, I think the reality is like we're doing stock plugins only, and so there's a little bit of like I'm having to work a little harder, just a bit harder, I'll be honest. You know, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was working a little harder. I am, because there's certain plugins that do all-in-one things. However, it's proving the point. It's just making me think more. It's making me think a little bit harder because I don't go to some, you know, stock idea of how I do things, you know. So here's my snare sub. It's okay, but where's the body? Where's the body? You know what I mean? So let's just go and do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to do some EQ into compression. So I'm going to come along and I'm going to grab a stock EQ. Here it is. See what I did there? It's still not doing what I want. All it's doing is picking up. So why is that? Let's have a look. We don't seem to be having any real phase issues there. It seems like the trim... Oh, I see what's going on. So look, we have here, we have these phase reversed. Now, why are they phase reversed? Let's take the phase reverse off. Immediately better. That was probably because of something else we're doing. Now have a listen. Now that insane low boost I'm doing is audible. I don't need to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a listen to my elements. Yeah, it's okay. It's not great. It's a bit of a wet pancake. Remember, I recorded it, so I have no problem with going, that could be better. So, and this is the real world, you know what I mean? It's the real world. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab... If he can find it, he is going to grab... you know what? I'm just going to grab EQ here, individually on the snare top. So I went down to 70 on the high pass. It's a fairly gentle slope. I might make it a little bit more aggressive. Boosted, around about 200. I'm going to go up to about 7K here, boost that. It's okay. I'm actually going to copy that down onto the snare bottom. Now, we've got the snare verb happening because we're using this sample to trigger the snare verb. That's the Andy Wallace trick. It's the everybody trick, but Andy Wallace is one of the most famous ones to talk about it because we want a clean snare hit. We're not putting the reverb on a snare that has tons of bleed. Because I don't want to hear like kick bleed, hi-hat bleed, all that kind of stuff. Now, all of those snare samples have a lot of like snap to them, but they don't have the low end I want. So I'm going to individually do those as well. I just am. I know there's a lot of blah, blah, blah rubbish talked about like don't, do individual elements. I just don't agree. You've got to listen. Don't worry too much about what waveforms look like because part of the thing we loved about SSLs was a bit of that phase shift, how it made things more aggressive. That already sounds so much better to me. And if I widen that Q and come down a little lower, I'm only listening to all together, not soloing that only. The body's coming in now. I'm going to copy this EQ to all the samples that I'm using. Already 1,000 times better. I'm not sure about that. I've mixed with Chris before, and I don't know. At least with the mixes he did with me, he didn't use the snare bottom for the reverb, so I'm not sure. Definitely not. He took a sample and triggered the reverb from the sample. He even has a video with on YouTube where he talks about using the sample, so I'm not sure. He doesn't like to use the close mics for reverb. Most guys don't because they want the snare to be forward and have reverb behind it. Now, immediately that works for me. I'm hearing the low end. I'm hearing the weight in the snare. Let's put it all together. I like it. Okay, so a couple of things. I'm not actually going to do any EQ on it yet. I'm gonna go really generic. See this? I'm just going to go really generic and get the 1176 and not do anything. So have a listen. So I slowed the attack right down. Only 1.5 dBs worth of gain reduction. Interesting.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know my
Take it off.
but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame.
So I like it and I don't like it. I want to induce some volume out of that snare. I want that snare to be louder. So I like that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this snare sub and I'm going to duplicate it. You know what I'm going to do. You're all smart. And I'm going to do this. Yay! You got me. Do it in parallel. So that's quite insane. Now, what's happening with that insanity? Well, what's happening is all of the kick is bleeding into it. So, what do? Before that, let's put another, you guessed it, another compressor. Okay, why? I hope everybody's following because I'm getting some really crazy snizzle going on here. So this compressor is going to be keyed from a kick drum. So let's go to bus 7. Let's go to a kick sample. Do you know what I'm going to do here? So I'm taking this kick sample here. Have a listen. Okay, and I'm going to bus. I'm going to take out bus 7. Okay, so let's get bus 7. Send to this compressor. Send to the fastest release. Why am I doing that? I'll have a listen. So what's it doing? It's ducking the kick out of it. I'm sidechaining it. I'm running a compressor from a kick drum. Now, that's absolutely insane amount. Let's call this snare sub parallel. It's insane. I mean, that is just something that no right person in the right mind would do. So what we're going to do now, we turn it down. Now you see the kick hasn't got, yeah, I love my squeaky kick. That's a good old-fashioned speed king. In the track.
I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now.
Now here's the reality. This is where the stock plugin thing gets interesting because that particular compressor doesn't have a fast enough to release to do exactly what we want. Let's have a quick look. So let's see what other compressor. There's the Pro compressor, which I think you have to pay for. There's the Focusrite one, which I believe comes from free. Let's see what other compressor they have. Here's the Dyne. So let's go to this and see whether this has a fast enough release time. I think that does. So this here already has a much faster attack and release time. Look at here and listen. I love this illustration here. If you look down here, you can see how much compression we're getting. I love it. It's completely over the top. It's amazing. Really, really cool. I'd love to interview scientists. Do you have his information? Let's get hold of him. All right. So here in the track. Now, overall, the drum sounds where I want it to be. However, it's a little low. It's what I want to do, and I'm going to do it now, is I'm going to take all of my elements and create a drum bus. We're going to do another giveaway. We have 10 minutes to do 2 more giveaways. Okay. What is your favorite compressor? I want to know. What is your favorite compressor? Because we just realized that, stock, luckily there was a faster one. The actual stock Avid one was faster than 1176. 1176 used to be the fastest compressor. What is your favorite stock compressor? We're going to do 2 more giveaways. 2 more giveaways. This is for a year Academy membership. Or is it 1 more giveaway? How many have we done? I'm completely blanking. This is for a year Academy membership and IRs. Okay, so I'm coming out 43, 44. I'm going to make a drum bus with 43, 44. So everything that's going to 1 and 2 is going to go to 43 and 44. What is your favorite compressor for a year's membership to the Academy and also... So now all of those subs have been done. Now what we're going to do, including this here. So I'm going to come out of group like this so I don't mess up. And do 43, 44. Okay, so it's bust together. It's going to be crushing it. This is great. All stock plugins. I love that sound. I think that's sounding really fantastic. I like that. Okay, so I want to get a couple of things going. So it needs some limiting. It does need some limiting. It needs a little bit more control. There's the Pro limiter. Impact, does that come free? I wish I knew which came free here. I'm going to go and get the generic compressor limiter. I'm also going to get, let's just start with that. This is where I would reach for something. Congratulations on the winner. And this is where I would probably reach for something even more aggressive than that. Now, I don't know what comes with stock, but obviously Avid's own, like, there's Maxim, there's Impact. Like if we go to Maxim, for instance.
Weary souls.
Now, the high mids are getting a little squashed on that. Can you hear it?
Me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these
Maxim is free. Yay, thank you.
Me. You don't know.
But do you hear it's getting a little gritty?
Me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the
That room's kind of ugly. I'm hearing like, I'm going to go in. So this is giving you my thought process as we go, and I'm going to go in and just pull out. No, needs more than one band. See, this is where it comes down. It's like, I'm going to keep it super simple. Because we had asking about why we needed to use so many bands. So there was a little explanation. So let's come in, get rid of some of these lows. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is my room mic. It's a mono room mic in a tiny little drum room, just like you could have. Okay, next up, reverb.
For about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different.
Yeah, like Use Music to Feel said stock plugins are best for brain work. You see how much more I'm thinking? If you've been watching all of my live streams, you'll notice when I'm concentrating on just IK or just Mac DSP, they've all got clever kind of stock things like multibands and stuff. Now we're thinking a little more here, but we're still getting the same results. And I love this. I love the ability to be able to do this.
A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different. You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing.
As Kenneth says, these challenges are good for breaking habits. They are.
Me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the...
Exactly. You learn all these tricks using stock plugins. And then what happens is you start getting these more esoteric plugins that have more functionality, things like the MV2 by Waves, which has a ton. I mean, it's just like a godsend of a plugin. You start using stuff like that and you can transfer all of this hard work you've learned. I got good at being a producer, engineer, mixer by working with local bands and local artists, not working with the world's greatest musicians. I got good by correcting drummers that could barely play.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing every line that leads.
Yeah, Martin, I'm trying to get that snare balance. That's what I'm moving around. I've been turning down the reverb. I'm bringing down the parallel. I'm trying to get it to feel good.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I'm still tracing Every line that leads back to all of these conditions. A slightly twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way.
This is a good place. This is a good place. Okay, so last giveaway. One more. So the IR pack. If you haven't already liked and shared, please do. I would really, really appreciate it. Let's have a quick look. See how many likes we have. Do we have as many likes as we do streams? We have 288 people, so thank you so much. And we have 211 likes. Could you please bring it up to 288 likes? So please like. Last thing, what DAW are you using? We're in Pro Tools. Max is sitting over there in Ableton. We have Logic as well. What DAW are you using? And this is for my IR pack and a free 1-year membership to the Academy. You're going to get 30 or 40 multi-tracks. It might be 40 by now.
Know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to
I'm bringing the parallel down dramatically and liking it.
know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different.
All right, what did I quickly do? I brought the parallel down. It was too aggressive. Brought that down. I went back to a more stock setting on the 1176 and sped up the release a little bit.
Know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
Let the attack go through, so it's more snap. Didn't speed up the attack too much.
Know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions.
Just trying to get that release fast enough so if you watch it and listen to it, but watch it and listen to it at the same time, you'll see I'm trying to get the release back so it's not compressing.
Know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting for about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different.
That little clickiness is the acoustic. I hear it too. It's a little, and to be honest, it's on the left side for me.
You don't.
So you might have your headphones on back to front, or you may have your speakers back to front, but it's on the left side.
For about a year or two under these conditions. A weary soul and some torn up.
I'm really digging this, and I can't wait to open it up next week and have a listen to it a little bit more. It's really starting to feel like a song.
Know me. You don't know me like I.
The vocal feels controlled. We have those multi-effects down. The drums are starting to feel natural but have energy. The parallel, you know, this is good. It's all stock plugins. It's taking a little longer using stock plugins, but it's making me think more. It's making me explain more. I mean, to me, this is good. For proper educational purposes, I'm having to talk more and think more and explain more to you. And I'm using the Lolas. I'm using the blue Lolas. So I like this.
Twisted point of view, and I am different, but still no different. And
just so you know, this is going to be his new single. And it's going to be mastered by Warren Sokol. You're going to be able to watch the video of him mastering it as well. And it's all mixed in the box using Blue Lolas and stock plugins. So when you go to Spotify and hear this, you will hear this mix.
But still no different. And I can't find one more deserving of all the.
I think it's next Thursday, because I believe next Tuesday we're doing more Mac DSP.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself well, and everything points that way. And though I'm clean now, I can never change that these conditions are mine alone to claim.
Really like it. I'm really happy. So that's the basis of it. Now, next week, I'm probably going to get into some automation and some finessing and stuff like that. We have done no automation yet. We've done some panning automation on previous ones, but it's at that place now.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the...
In about 2 minutes, Nail the Mix are going to walk through the door. Tomorrow, I am doing a live Nail the Mix. If you haven't already checked that out, go check it out.
And I can't find one more deserving of all the blame. I know myself.
But you're right about that that little clipping. I'm going to have to look at that clicking, on the acoustic. We'll have to look at that. With fresh ears, that may bother me too much. But yeah, it's difficult because even though it's in time, it might do that. I mix every genre, electronic, hip-hop, you name it. Yes, so please, if you haven't already, please subscribe. David is listening. Oh, let's see what his comments are. David says, can you bring up the electric lead line? That's the artist. Yes. I'm going to go, yes, more of me. Yay.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
David Note, more of a focal point. He likes that.
For about a year or two under these conditions, a weary soul and some torn up shoes from all the distance. And I need to prove that I am different. Me like
He'd asked me that last live stream and I hadn't done it. See? You can tell we're not cheating, we're not doing anything. It's not the new iPhone. This one's like 2 generations back.
You don't know me.
It's a 7. I think they have an X and an S and a T and a Q and a whatever.
You don't know me. You don't know me like I do, but I've been drifting.
I have to get in and fix that drifting. I remember, I thought I fixed that last time. Anyway, off we go. I just need to boost it up. You rock. Thank you ever so much. If you haven't already, please like and share. He goes, acoustic drum kit and lead line and vocal should be king. I agree. Except for when the melody comes in on the post-chorus. The ba-ba-da-bum, bum, 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 ba-da-dum-dum. All right. You all rock. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. If you haven't already and you're watching, please hit that subscribe button. If you go to producelikeapro.com, you can sign up for the email list. You'll get notified when we do this. You'll also get a whole bunch of free schnizzle. You'll get free drum samples, all the ones I use, the ones I made with Aerosmith and The Fray and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. So go and do that. Join our community. If you want to join the Academy, you can. You all rock. Have a marvelous time. I'll see you all again very, very soon. And I'm going to see you